To the Mail on Sunday. Good news for people who like their children indoctrinated, Nicholas.
I mean, this is fascinating. Revealed dossier of critical race theory being taught in British schools, including the so-called pyramid of white supremacy, and books that tell children as young as 4 that racism started because, quote, white people wanted more control over others.
Because there's no racism among other races at all. That's never happened.
They've never listened to what Iranians, Arabs, Chinese, Indians tell about each other.
What is the pyramid of white supremacy, and isn't that culturally appropriating Egypt?
Yeah, and who built it?
Yeah.
That is, because that could be an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory right there.
Absolutely.
But I think it's discussing the idea that racism, so the reader of one of these things is told that racism was started a long time ago when white people wanted to have more control over other people who are not white. And I'm sorry, but I don't think... I mean, that's a racist thing to say. It's separating people by skin colour. It's saying that only white people can be racist. White people invented racism. White people invented the concept of treating people differently according to certain attributes. And that's obvious nonsense.
Well, I remember there was a report in America, I think it was the New York Times, when they were talking about a racist attack from Asian individuals against black individuals, and they said that the perpetrators were enacting whiteness because they couldn't say they were racist because it's not possible for them to be racist. They were mimicking the way that white people behave. Now, this is important, this story, because it's talking about a report that was put together by a group called Don't Divide Us, and full disclosure, I was involved with the setting up of Don't Divide Us. But the point that what's so good about this movement and what the report has shown is that critical race theory is in British schools. It is happening even when schools aren't calling it critical race theory. And for a long time now, people have just denied it. They've just said, oh, they're not really teaching that stuff in schools. But the report proves that they are. That's significant, isn't it, Leo?
Oh, yes, it's hugely significant. And, I mean, it looks like there's been a sort of slow march through our institutions, and education is one that is one of the most captured. You know, the gender ideology,
theory as well,
gender theory, which is related to this, you know, intersectionally, and the critical race theory is... I mean, people will look back and be horrified that this was taught to children.
Basically laying all the blame for racism with the whites. They say whites invented this. Of all the things whites invented, and they invented most of the things. I went to school in a non-white country, and we learned about the periodical table of elements.
I wouldn't say that white people invented everything, Nicholas.
Scottish, you mean Scottish people?
Scottish people, I will take.
Penicillin. I'm alive because of, well, Fleming was Scottish, wasn't he?
Yeah, television, John Logie Baird, that we're on right now.
We learned that Isaac Newton could discover gravity while napping. That's how good these white people are.